Welcome to the Jackson Heights Cobra Cast and the Coach Wick Show. The Cobras moved to 2-0 after an impressive 69-6 road win over Maur Hill. It's homecoming week, and the Cobras welcome the Horton Chargers this Friday. Coach, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
All right, let's start talking about the Maur Hill game last week. Our varsity players only played in the first half of the game before going into halftime, up 61-6. Talk about what you liked about our varsity team from the first half.
You know, it was good, both offensively and defensively. I thought we executed well on the offensive side of the football, and we were able to run some touchdowns in and also throw some touchdowns in. And Austin had a big game with 3 receptions for touchdowns, and Tatum had a good game with 2 rushing touchdowns, and Drake also had 2 rushing touchdowns as well. So I thought the execution was well. We're spreading it out a little bit more prior to the first game, and I think that's good for us. And we were able to, like you said, get the JV in there in the whole second half, and they were able to score as well and hold Maur Hill off the board. But, you know, thinking about the first half in Maur Hill, we gave up a big play there at the mid-second quarter where it's just an easy thing where our eyes were in the wrong spot, and we didn't come up with the tackle afterwards. And those are just the little things that we got to keep harping to the kids. Even that the score was out of reach at that time, we always got to play to the next play. We always got to play to the whistle, and we always got to do our job. So that's something we're definitely harping on this week.
Yeah. So speaking of the JV, there was a running clock with 5 minutes to go in the first half that continued to run through all of the second half. But there was a great opportunity for our JV kids to get in there to see some varsity action. The JV was able to outscore Maur Hill by scoring in the fourth quarter. Talk about the importance of getting the JV kids minutes in varsity games.
It's always important to get those young kids, those freshmen and sophomores, and some of the juniors that haven't established themselves at the varsity level yet in there to get game type experience, especially on Friday nights. And we don't have a lot of JV games this year, so they don't have a lot of playing time. And, you know, we asked a lot of those JV because they're usually our scout team during the course of the week and get beat up here and there, and they don't really get to show people what they're all about on Friday nights. So it's always good to get them, like I said, game experience, game action, and they prove that they belong. Like you said, we outscored Maur Hill 8-0 in the second half, and our JV was able to pitch that shutout in the second half. That's always good, so hopefully that gives them a lot of confidence as well moving forward.
So moving over to Horton now. Horton comes into Jackson Heights 0-2 after losing to Valley Falls only 6-0 and falling big to JCN 48-0. What's the keys to having success against the Chargers this week?
You know, it's just working on us. We have some things that we're putting in the playbook this week that are new to us. So, you know, just trying to be more diverse on the offensive side of the football, a harder scout for opponents moving forward. And with Horton, they come and they do a lot of different things. You know, it's not a lot where you see 2 quarterbacks in the backfield with either one of them can get the snap at any given time, and they shuffle their offensive line during the course of 1 or 2 plays. They'll move their whole entire offensive line to another side of the field. So it's something that we're got to be on our P's and Q's and knowing the strength and knowing what they're trying to do. So we had a good practice yesterday, establishing that. So hopefully we can just go into practice today and execute it.
So this week, like I mentioned, is homecoming week, and homecoming can create a lot of excitement, but it also could create a lot of distractions throughout the week. As a head coach, how do you balance those things throughout the week with you and your players?
It's one of those things. I think our players know when it's time to have fun and when it's time to lock in and, when it's game time. And during the course of the week, we do a lot of exceptional things here at Jackson Heights to get the community involved. With the Powder Puff game that was on Monday, that was a great game. And, down to the wire, the last possession with a touchdown. And Tuesday and Wednesday, Spirit Week going all week. We see the jerseys flying around today. I didn't wear my jersey today. I was going to wear my old high school jersey, but couldn't find it in the confines of my wife's closet because with all the wives, they have 90% of the closet there to filled up. And but homecoming week is a great experience for the kids, and they need to embrace it. They need to have fun during the course of the week. But like I said, when it's practice time and when it's the lights come on Friday nights, it's time to lock in and zone in on the game plan.
So this game is the last game before going into district play. What aspects of our game or our team need to be improved or fixed before going into district play?
It's just execution. It's just getting better each and every game. And I think we got exceptionally better, exponentially better there from week 1 to week 2. And hopefully we can keep getting those gains and, heading into week 3. But, you're never satisfied as a head coach, and you're never satisfied executing the way you execute on film. There's always one or two things that you can do better. And I think during the course of the year, these players have really established themselves as, we have to get better each and every game because, here in the course of the week, we'd like to get better each and every week, but we also like to establish ourselves for the playoff and get that playoff push. So we have to keep getting better, if that's in the weight room or if that's, watching film or, head placement, footsteps with the offensive line and running correct routes as a wide receiver and blocking the right person as a lead back. So we're always working on ourselves and getting better each and every day.
So here's some just general questions out here. What got you into the coaching gig? What started your going for a head coach or coaching in general?
So I came to Jackson Heights in 2010. I wasn't part of the staff at Jackson Heights in 2010, and, I got part of the staff in 2011 and then came head coach in 2012, and you can say the rest is history after that. But prior to that, going to high school at Smith Center High School, legendary coach Roger Barta really established a great relationship with myself and, let him rest in peace. He was, he passed away this previous month, and I was able to attend his funeral in Manhattan, Kansas, and there was a ton of coaches there. Coach Snyder was there from K-State, so I was able to talk to him a little bit. And, everything that I've learned about Coach Barta is a family atmosphere, and I feel like that is here at Jackson Heights, a tight-knit community where Coach Barta brought all the community together and everybody felt part of the team, and I wanted to be a part of that. I wanted to build that on my own, and during the course of my high school career, he took me aside. He always had those, game time talks that you live for. Some of the analogies that I use today, he used during the course of the year, like run with the thoroughbreds, not the donkeys. And I know you're smiling there because I use that to this day. And there's some other analogies that he uses during the course of his career that have really cemented me and cemented my philosophy as a coach, and I wouldn't take it back for anything, and I owe him a lot. He was actually the first person I called before my first head football job or head football game here against Horton High School, and I talked to him for about 30 minutes, and he just said, trust the process, trust your guys, and trust the work that you put in during the course of the week, and just be confident. So that's kind of what I'm trying to establish here at Jackson Heights, and it's worked so far. So hopefully we'll just, like I said, continue to load the wagon and keep on keeping on.
So one more final question. We hear that you're a Steelers fan. How do we feel about the Steelers this year after multiple offseason trades like DK Metcalf? You got Aaron Rodgers now, and just are you thinking you're going to go to the distance or?
I mean, I know being a minority here, not being a Chiefs fan, but it goes back to my youth. My father actually grew up in Elwood City, Pennsylvania, which is just a suburb outside of Pittsburgh. I've always been a Steelers fan. We went on vacations there. I saw the new PNC Park. I saw Heinz Field, which is now, it's changed names so many times. I don't even know the name of it anymore. But yes, I'm a diehard Steelers fan, and Aaron Rodgers is on the up and up, hopefully. But it's a grain of salt with Coach Tomlin. He's going to go either one game above 500 or he's going to be 500. So that kind of gets on your nerves a little bit, but we never get a high draft pick, and we haven't won a playoff game, and it seems like a decade. So hopefully the Steeler Nation is going to come out, and we can hear that renegade in the fourth quarter and by sticks, and hopefully we'll have a bunch of leads and win the NFC North. But, if a lot of people, Jake Spalding to be one, is a diehard Ravens fan. So we have our conversations about who's going to win the North. But, yeah, diehard Steelers fan, and to the Berg always, and hopefully they have a good year.
Yeah. So Jackson Heights Cobras will look to move to 3-0 as they face off against Horton this Friday, and the kickoff will be at 7. Coach, good luck, and thank you for joining us again.
Thank you, and just a shout-out to our Jackson Heights Cobra Nation, and just remember this week after the homecoming game, there will be a massive fireworks show as well, so make sure you come out there, make sure you're loud and proud, and make sure you bring your lawn chair so you're able to watch those fireworks afterwards.